Wangapo, Chama Wangapo. I know some of y'all should be on. It's after work hours. I'm actually on here after work hours. Wangapo, Wangapo. So I'm finally doing another genealogy video for those of you who had genealogy questions. Hey, Star. Can we get a little? The sun is getting crazy over here. Hold on. See if that's a little better. Ooh, how's this camera looking crazy like this? You anciently, you been waiting this video? Gosh, why I look terrible in this camera. Peace, peace, family. Let's see, hold on. There's people walking by. So, do you guys, any of you have any genealogy questions? Hi. Gapo, Red. Oh, goodness, I think I'm gonna walk around because you guys have any questions before I start? I gotta pack my stuff up. I'm just trying to let a couple of people get on. Oops. Let me get to walking. So I get, this light keeps changing. I get a lot of questions about how do I find my tribe, which is a hard question to answer, right? Because it's a whole lot of factors to that. Who are your people? How far have you gone in your genealogy? What region are they from? And even if they're from their region, you don't know if you have enslaved ancestors who were moved around from somewhere else. And exactly what kind of tribe are you talking about? You talking about American Indian tribes, or are you talking about European tribes or clans? Thank you, Joe. Thank you. The tab. Are you talking about African tribes? What kind of tribes are you talking about? Now, if you're talking about American Indian tribes, you will have to go through the process of doing your basic genealogy first, right? Answering those questions that I just said, like who are your people, who do you descend from, where do they come from, and are they originally from that area? Now, if you want to do that, you will have to go back at least to the early 1800s. Some people have had success going back a couple of generations, but that's not the case for everybody. And another thing that you got to keep in mind is you have to be able to tolerate or digest the results that you get from your research. You said, should one start with mother's line first? I would start with both lines and try to find all the information that you can find. I know a lot of people say for American Indian ancestry, the mother's line only matters, but that's not really the case for everybody, because there's a lot of people, if you want to talk about the enrolled people, a lot of them are enrolled on their father's side. Some of them are enrolled, a lot of them are enrolled on their mother's side. So you got to see, and you got to ask yourself, do you even want to be enrolled at all, right? So people like myself, I just want to know my ancestry. I just want to know who my ancestors were, the tribes that they came from, et cetera, et cetera. it's never really been like a super, like a goal to be enrolled in a tribe. It's not, I'm not going to die if I'm not enrolled or enrolled or whatever. Okay, let me read your questions. I see a couple questions up here. Oh, so I answered your question, Omip, how do you say your name? Opemia. I think I said it right. Sorry. Hey, DG. Tony, you said on your mother's side is Choctaw Geechee. Father's side is Blackfoot, which is Pawnee and Catawba. I know I can go back to 1700s with my family from South Carolina and Arkansas. Well, that's great. That's great. Yeah, Marcus, I meant enrolled in a traditional, recognized quote unquote tribe, or you can be, like a federal, state or federal recognized, or you can be enrolled in a non-recognized tribe. Some people rather be lone Indians and they'd rather not be, rather just be with your family clan, your family, and not in a tribe, because with tribes, they have governments, they have rules, they have, in some instance, tithes and taxes that you pay towards, fees and stuff sometimes. Also, you have obligations going to powwows and events and things. You said, I find it hard to know exact tribe from the islands. Well, the islands only have a few tribes because they were so small. And the original tribes on those islands were decimated. And then came the Arawaks, and then came the Caribs. And there are various smaller tribes under them. You said you're Sioux, Oglala Sioux, and Choctaw? Okay. So there is a website, I think it's called Oklahoma Tribe, something like that. I'm gonna move because there's a lot of people walking. You can go on there and you can search the rolls for your ancestors. That's why I say it's good to do the genealogy work first. Have everything mapped out, have the names, so all you have to do is copy and paste the names and search the rolls. Also, you can ask, you can contact tribes that maybe you have a family oral tradition that you're a Cherokee or from different tribes, and call up the local band in that area where your ancestors were and talk with them. You can also, let's say you're Sapani and Catawba. You can also Google. A lot of genealogists use Google. They might not tell you that, but you can find a lot of information on Google. What you would do is you just search surnames. Maybe search the county or the area, say Salton County, Virginia, Indian tribes, and find out what tribes are there. So Salton County, I don't know what tribes there. I'll just say Accomack. So then you'll search your surname, say Brown surname, Accomack tribe, or Accomack Indians, and see if that surname is on any of their rolls or associated with that tribe. So that's another way you can do it. But like I said, you want to get in the early 1800s, not 1900s, late 1700s before you try that. Damon, hey Damon, you said you're looking for more information on Halton and Taylor lines, and oh, I saw something on Taylor. I'll try to send it to you if I can find it again in Virginia. Yeah, I've been out here walking, y'all. I've been eating, walking. Need some water, so that's why I'm looking beat. I'm just letting y'all know. I'm out here with no makeup on. You said Pamunkey. You said you're not away. Let's see. You guys have any questions? Trek yours to Carolina. Yeah, it is amazing how we're mixed with so many different tribes, y'all. It's really, it got to the point, well, people first were starting to stay within their tribe, It got to the point that people were intermixing with their clan, and then they were like, well, we have to go find another tribe that we're all going to mix with. So certain families mix with certain tribes. Excuse me. It's a Pamunkey. Yeah, so in some instances, rivals mixed together, like the Pamunkey and Cherokee, and people who would previously would never be associated or were killing each other. So it got to the point where they were just trying to, quote unquote, keep the blood pure. And people with known indigenous ancestry were trying to intermarry with each other and keep that little shred bit of culture going, even though cultures were different, right? You said, Alton, you got back to 1791. Well, you're going to have to search those tribes. And then, like I said, some of those tribes, some of those surnames are from clans, like Scottish clans and British clans, Welsh clans. Everybody doesn't have 100% indigenous ancestry. Some people do. Everybody doesn't have 100% this and that, certain areas. People migrated as well. There's a lot of people with Mohawk ancestry. The Mohawks migrated a lot due to war and treaties and education. If y'all check out my other video on the Bradfordton school, you'll see that they had Seneca and Mohawk and different children from New York, from all the way down to Virginia, and they went to school. And everybody didn't go home. Some of them, they might have met a Powhatan woman or whatever and got married. So I have an instance in one of my families that we have a Narragansett ancestor who married in. Her family came all the way down from New England. And she's descended from chiefs. So just telling y'all, that's way back in 1700s, 1600s, 17, something like that. Gotta go back and check my tree. Okay, I'm walking around, y'all. Let me see your questions. You said your mom is a Brown too, from Virginia, Wallace? Your wife is Cherokee. Yeah, you said your family goes back to 1616 in Massachusetts, Brian? Wow. It's funny how a lot of those wars caused everybody to migrate and intermix with different tribes, right? Oh, it looks like it's gonna storm in a minute. You said from DC, Brown from DC? Yeah, the Browns did move up to DC, so it might be the same family, Wallace. So try to, if you email me, we can talk at thetashashi@gmail.com. You want to talk about that to see. So do you guys have any more questions about finding your tribe? That is the most simplest way that I could break it down to you guys. I'm going to include it in my genealogy class. I still have more to add. So if you guys are in the genealogy class, there's going to be more added to the class. And also those who are already enrolled, you're going to get another free class. So it's just having technical issues with the school and things. So I do apologize, you guys. You said you are? You said, have I been to the National Archives? I was trying to go to National Archives today. There's no parking out there, y'all. All the tourists. It is tourist season in DC. Chelsea, you said, please just email me, Chelsea. So I'm working on getting all the technical issues worked out with the school, and it should be up soon. Right? I think some of the people are still able to access the class because they were already in it. But I was having other issues, so And I want everything to be right for you guys because I know everyone's working hard and trying to find their ancestors. And it is like the highest thing to do to honor your ancestors in many indigenous cultures. So, what do you know about the Nansen Tico? Libra, I've done a video, do I have 1 or 2 videos on Nansen Tico already? If you go back and look through my page, I'm also going to come out with another one. This one is going to feature some of Anita Will's book called Along the Rappahannock. If you don't know who Anita Wills is, she's an author. She has several books based on her own genealogy. And they really help. Even if you're not related to her, just looking at how she researched and the information that she found out, it will help you with insights and looking for your own genealogy. So I'm gonna have edit. I'm just having I hate editing, y'all. I'll be honest. That's why I've been going live a lot. So I have to get on my computer and edit it. And I just got my new laptop, so it should be out soon. Okay, guys? But the Nansen Tico, they're a local tribe in Virginia. They originated along the Rappahannock. They're associated with the Rappahannock tribe as well. A lot of those people mixed. But in the early 1700s, late 1600s, they were caught up in this case where just a few members of the tribe killed somebody on self-defense, and they basically tried the whole tribe and found them guilty, and they banished all the adults, sold them as slaves to Antigua, and banned them from Virginia forever. And everybody under 12, they sold all the kids into indentured servitude until they were about, 25, 30 years old. So even 1-year-old babies were enslaved. And of course, and that's another way how, when people ask, oh, how come you guys don't speak your language? How come you don't know certain traditions and cultural things? Many people were enslaved as children. They lost their languages. They lost their culture. And these children, the stipulation on them were they were banned from banned on going onto Indian reservations or Indian towns. So they couldn't be affiliated with anyone who were indigenous. So they could not reconnect with their language or culture, right? They had to assimilate. Those people married some people, they had children, and it goes down the line. So she had to find out that she is related to one of the babies who were indentured from that whole case, right? Her family didn't remember all that. She had to do the research because, like I said, if you're enslaved or indentured as a child, you lose your language and you lose your culture. And your language is a big part of your connection. So, any more questions? You said you just ordered it, Star? Yeah, it's a good book. No, what are they talking about? More stuff? I didn't say anything about Moors today. All right, peace, Brandon. You said you're trying to get to the archives, Brandon. Yeah, there's no parking there. If you go down there, I'm willing to pay. Like, I found one spot, and the guy, it was some nice taxi driver, African guy, was like, "That's a handicap. You're gonna get a ticket." Like, he was trying to scream through the window. I had to roll my window down, so I was like, "Okay, thank you," because I don't want a ticket. So. What'd you say? Oh, no problem. Yeah. Thank you for supporting her. She's a good lady. Anita is. She's a great researcher and good writer. So you can get her books and learn something. Richie, you said you're in North Carolina and you wanted to go to the National Archives in DC or genealogy record store there. Yes, there's records stored there, but mostly what they have is census records and military records, things like that. If you want to have tax records, certain records that are more intimate, you will have to find those in the counties where your ancestors are, right? Have you come across Freedman Property Digest? No, I've come across Freedman Bank records, Freedman marriage records. They have all those all the Freedman stuff, Bureau stuff is located at the archives. So if you were trying to get that, you would have to go there. I mean, they have good people working there. You can call them and see. You can also go on the website. If you just Google National Archives USA, because there's another National Archives for the UK. I believe Australia has one as well. The website, they also have some digital records. Now, they told me in the summer they have the intern, like now, they have probably why I couldn't get a parking spot, because they have the interns in there digitalizing a lot of the more delicate records. So they want to, at one point, have everything digitalized, but it's a long process. And the people there are really nice, they're willing to help you. So, we said you never saw somebody use the Cherokee Treaty at the Netherlands? Why would they use it in the Netherlands? Let's see. If you don't know the counties of your people or the county, what? The counties or the county not there anymore, but you know the states, what should you do next? Oh, good question, Lewis. You would check the state archives. For Virginia, they house a lot of the county records because a lot of the county records were burned, allegedly, right? And mysteriously, a couple years ago, they got a big donation of a lot of these so-called burned records, these records that they thought were burned, right? So I read an article a couple years ago talking about one of the cases. Some of the documents that they found were about this family who were indigenous and they were fighting for their freedom out of slavery. So a lot of those records that they are burned are indigenous records, right? People freedom records, original land deeds, right? My family has a lot of original land deeds that are in counties, right? In the county archives, courthouses. So I was there a couple of weeks ago and I found my family in the deed book number 1 out of how many books they have, 50 or something like that. So they were the first original, what do you call those, is it title holders? Well, they have the original land patents or whatever. Hello, Play Games. You say you're from Brazil? Oh, I love Brazil. Oh, people who know me, I used to be so obsessed with Brazil. I still haven't visited yet, so hope to see you guys soon. You said you need information for Virginia. Davida, because you will have to go to the National Archives. Not the National Archives. You could go to the National Archives, but the Library of Virginia, which is located in Richmond, Virginia. You can call down there. They have some digital records too, and they have a lot of the archives, they use the interns to digitalize the records, so they're doing a similar thing. Yeah. You said your great-grandmother's from King George County, and she used to mention the Nansen Tico. What? She used to mention the Nansen? Well, she might be one because that's not a well-known tribe. It's really not well known. I just heard of them recently. And I researched them and I stumbled because there's a plantation named after them. Now, if y'all watch the other video, I think I go in detail on that, or is it Might be in part two. But they built a plantation on their village. So after they enslaved the people and indentured the children, they built a plantation on there, and some of the children worked on the plantation. Yes, yes, Stephen. You can go to freeafricanamericans.com. They have a lot of records, a lot of our records. They actually have pictures of Pamunkey Indians as well on there, and different other, I think, Cherokees, some of the known families who are indigenous. And it's a book. He has two volumes books, and the books are like 100 something each. So it is really good that he put it online for free, right? So he is a Caucasian man, and he's married to an indigenous woman, and that's what he started doing the genealogy research. Now everything on there is not correct, right? Some people criticize him for his work, even though his work was the best at the time. He had to travel to all these different courthouses and archives, before the internet. So it's amazing that he was able to do that. So I need help. Your folks in Richmond or King and Queen County, you about to start your husband Carter family from Salton. Oh, okay. Well, I got you, Davita. Just hit me up. You said your mother's has a book written about her, the Fauntleroy family. You have to travel. You gonna travel to Virginia? Hey, me, Zach. Yeah, well, Davita, I got you. There's also, you guys, another thing you can do is go to the local library, right? And most of the areas where we're from in the South, they have libraries who have a lot of the old records. Also contact historical societies in that city or that county. And most of them are willing to help. Historical societies, I believe they are nonprofits, so they're going to get paid anyways, and they get bored in there. So when they get a call, they're happy to help most of the time. So, do I have information on the Caribbean? The National Archives has information on the Caribbean. You can also look on the National Archives UK, which have a lot of Caribbean records because of their colonization of the Caribbean. Can you pin your email? I'm not sure how you do. You mean type it? I don't think it will let me do it. It's the THE Tasha She at gmail.com. It won't let me type it, Chelsea. I'm sorry. So just put the or the before my screen name at gmail.com. Okay. You said, remember for me, please remember for me until I make it down there. Black Walnut Plantation. Yeah, Mizek, what I was going to do a lot of research on the plantations, but I found out so many in Virginia. I was going to go to every plantation, but I was like, wait a minute, they still have at least like 100 plantations. All of them aren't up and running either, but some of them are now bed and breakfasts, and they have weddings and things there. Do you look more like Cherokee a little bit? Like, huh? I don't think I look like Cherokee at all. I do have some Cherokee ancestry way back on my father's side. I don't think I look Cherokee. I think I look Howerton, Algonquian. All right. Do you have a question, G Major? Let me see. How do you be doing? You was born in Iowa. Your family always said you were Black Hawk. Can you speak more about that? I'm not too familiar about the Black Hawk tribe, but it is a real tribe. I believe they're of to in ancestry. I would suggest to look them up. Get all the books that you can find on them. Right? I'm sorry, people walking by. Yeah, do your research on them. Most of the time, you're gonna find some information. If your family's, associated with them tight, you're gonna find some information about them. You can also look on treaties as well. And there's a whole lot of other sites. Like I said, I'm gonna put more detailed information in my class. But like I said, I'm giving y'all all this information. Y'all can do. I mean, if you need the class, the information is going to be there. But my whole thing is, I want everyone to be able to look for their genealogy. It's not, about me. I put the class together because people kept asking about it. It's not like I'm trying to make money off of it. But people keep asking me certain things. People want to step by step. So that's why the class is going to be step by step, right? You ever heard of the Oto tribe? No, I haven't heard of that tribe. Where do you know where that's located? Peace, Matt. Peace, AI. Was it IA? Sorry. You guys have any more questions? I feel like my face is swelling up. I need to get another tooth. My tooth will get a toothache or something. Any more questions, you guys? Do you know anyone Blackfoot, Mississippi related? I know someone from Louisiana that's Blackfoot descendant. You can go on Achilla Yana's YouTube page. She is part Blackfoot, and we found that I helped her on her genealogy. She did a lot of the work, most of the work, I'll be honest. I was just helping her out a little bit. But she's found out that her family is Blackfoot, and the Blackfoot from the Plains area or from Montana area migrated down to the Louisiana and Mississippi area. So people down there really do have Blackfoot ancestry from the Blackfoot. Now there's two different, there's Blackfoot and then there's Blackfeet. So that's how people get mixed up. So the Blackfoot are the ones down there in Mississippi, Louisiana that came from up north. Then there's also the Blackfeet, who are related to the Lakota and the Sioux, the Agala Sioux, and they migrated to the east. And there's also controversy of did they originate in the east or did they originate in the Midwest? So there's a lot of people who say they originated in the east, but then there's also groups like the Powhatan and other tribes down, in that area already who said that these people came later, right? They weren't the first people there. So that's a whole nother controversy. So the Sioux tribes on the East Coast are trying to say that they were the first people there, and then the other tribes, the Algonquian and the Iroquois tribes, are saying that they were not. So you have to do your research and see. You said, what tribe are you connected to? I'm descended from the Powhatan Nation. Several tribes within the Powhatan Nation, also the Narragansett, and also the Nottoway and Cherokee. So Nottoway and Cherokee are both Iroquois, and they have a relation. So the Iroquois came down from Ohio Valley and New York area. This is like, was it 11, I'm about to say 1100. I guess that is 1100. 1100s, 1300s, around that time, right? It was different groups and clans and different tribes mixed up and became those people, so. Right, yeah, Davida. Achilla Yana has a YouTube. So I was trying to get people to go over there. And she has a lot of good videos. She's also discovered, what was that she discovered? Oh my gosh, it was so clever. I think it's something to do with the Congo. I can't remember, but once I remember it, I'm gonna look for her video and link it on my page so you guys can watch it. What tribes are in Louisiana and Texas? Blackfoot were in Louisiana. I was just talking about that. There's a whole bunch of tribes that are down there in Texas. I can't remember everything off the top of my head because they're kind of hard to pronounce. So I don't want to mess up their names. Do you think people from Whiteville, Lumberton, Island Creek or Waccamaw? I'm not sure. I always thought people from Lumberton were Lumbee, right? And I believe over on the east side, they're Waccamaw. I don't think any of those people are Creek. You said clove oil for my tooth. Thank you, Shanti. Yeah, I need to do some herbal remedy because y'all see it feels like it and it looks like it's swelling. Do you have Rogers' surname in Nottoway? Not from what I've seen. It doesn't mean that you're not related to them. You could be related to a different surname. Karen, you said Lumberton, Lumbee. Yeah, that's what I thought, Karen. Yeah, I guess I'm right. I know you're right because you're from there. OCL Redbird. No problem, Hilton. I'm trying. It's kind of hard to think of all these things off the top of my head, you know. You said you come from Croatan. The Croatan was not a tribe. It was a town. Croatan is a town. The Croatan people are related to the Pamunkey or the Powhatan people, right? The original people that were there were Tidewater Algonquian peoples. They spoke the Powhatan language. If you look at the language, it's the same. Also, I'm working on the Powhatan language class as well, you guys. So that will be coming out soon. I have a whole bunch of words. Like a lot of the words are not found in those dictionaries. The John Smith one and the other one, they're not found in there. They're found in a lot of the local history books because the local history books record the towns and the towns' names are in the Powhatan language and they have the definition. So it's a lot of work I have to do. So that will be coming out soon. So I'm going to have a version for adults and then one that's more fun for children so they'll be able to learn, the different seasons and things and have the worksheets. So that should be cool. Jelani, I'm not sure about those names. They're not really familiar for Nottoway. That's why I told you guys earlier. I don't know if you're just coming on. Look for the area. Try to find the areas where your ancestors were. Look for the tribes in those areas. Then search your surname, like I use example, Brown surname, Nottoway tribe or whatever. Google that and see if your surname, or should say surnames of the Nottoway tribe or Cherokee surnames, Virginia Cherokee surname, or whatever name like that. Google that and see what comes up. Usually there's a list of surnames for the tribes that will come up. So you definitely see Powhatan features in me. Thank you. I have a Powhatan ancestry on both sides, like my dad's side and my mom's side. So your people on both sides are from Mississippi. Research, they're born in Choctaw area. Were they Did you check the rolls and see? Because sometimes they could have been Blackfoot or they could have been from another area too. So that's why it's tricky. Like I said, you got to go back as far as you can to make sure that you got everything right. Because I see a lot of people saying that they're Cherokee or they're Choctaw just because of the area. But you have to tie your ancestors, the surnames and the counties and everything into it too, just to be on the safe side, right? You said I'm a walking historian. Oh, thank you. I just try to remember and like I research, like I'm just a nerd basically. I research for fun and then I want to tell people, I want to help people with the information that I got. So you said you know that if the town ends at EE or AW, that it's a Indian name. Burgwa. Yeah, that's true, right? That looks like Siouan language too, right? Isn't Pedi a Siouan? And Lumbee is just, I don't even think that's indigenous. It's kind of a twist on Lumberton or something. I don't know. Said you found family in Virginia, Georgia, Alabama, Florida, Barbados. Right, right. You have a great grandparents from Blackfoot. You must look up your mom's side. She says she has Cherokee and Blackfoot on her side. Her family is not close. The Taylors are connected to any tribe. I've seen the Taylors in several different tribes, so I would continue to look for your area. Like I've seen Pamunkey Taylors, I've seen Taylors from the Iroquois. Oh, I'm sorry, these bugs. Iroquois tribes. So were the Nansen Tico part of the Powhatan Nation? The Nansen Tico, yes, at one time they were part of the Powhatan Nation, and at one time they were part of the Piscataway Confederacy too. Now, at one point, the Piscataway were under the Powhatan for protection, especially on later times when my ancestor Kokoeski, who was a female chief, was when she was in charge. That was with the 1700s, early 1700s. Do the names Miller, Friend, Banks ring a bell? You got to tell me what area that you're talking about. Walker, I just saw Walker on Cherokee. I was just reading one of the old Cherokee journals, academic journals, and I saw Walker on there. One of the chiefs is named Walker. He was mixed blood. He was mixed blood though, but I'm pretty sure his family married other Cherokees, so it's not like they stayed that way. You said that Cherokee was the second largest? I think they're the largest actually in North America, Cherokee tribe, at least in an organization or nation as a corporate entity as well. You might find journal entries on Google Books. Right, yeah, search Google. It's so many different places that you can search. Search Google Books for your family ancestry books, right? Search WorldCat as well. Thank you, G. I'll keep you posted. If you want to email me, you can email me too, right? I'm going to keep you guys posted, and once it's back up, I'm going to have a discount code and stuff for you guys for this, for the wait, and it's going to be very helpful to you, hopefully. Thank you, Anthony. Ooh, y'all got a lot of stuff on here. Walkers and Taylors are related to you. Yeah. No, you didn't offend me by saying I'm the Cherokee. No, not at all. Not at all. It's probably the glasses. You said surname of people accepted was Campbell. I'm a Campbell from Virginia too. Campbell's originated in Scotland, and then the men married indigenous women in some cases. Certain brothers in the family did. I don't think all of them did, but certain brothers in the families married indigenous women. So the Campbells are infamous. But the Campbells, they come from a Moorish line anyways, so they weren't like they were mixed anyways. So. Did they twist it when naming Lumbee? See, that's the thing, because the Lumbee, the actual tribal members are descendants of the Pamunkey, right? They're descendants of the Pamunkey, Chira, I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong, Chira. and other local tribes mixed together. I'm trying to get all the questions. Y'all got more statements than questions. I love it. I love that y'all are representing your families and are, yes, I'm close. How do you know I'm close to water? That could be why my face is swelling. Like my tooth is irritated. Yeah, it could be. I'm right on that. Look, I'm gonna let y'all see. It's beautiful. See, I'm right on the water. Look at that boat. It's beautiful out here. Yeah, water does it. I retain water easily. I got a big water head anyway. Big indigenous water head. You said you're a Black Hawk from the Sac Nation. You related to Chief Black Hawk? You found the 18th great grandfather was a chief? What? How old are you? 12? What? You meant 8th, right? I don't think you meant 18th. You gotta be like not existing yet to have a document of that magnitude. I don't know. You had a relative called George No Nose. He lost his nose to pox. Wow, pox, smallpox, I guess. Whew. Hey, HM. Okay, Kay Lee says, do you think the surnames found in the islands are tied to America? I definitely do, because a lot of the people from there are from from the mainland, from Virginia and Carolinas. A lot of the planters from Virginia and Carolinas went to the Caribbean, especially Bermuda and Barbados, Antigua, all those little places, that's close to Virginia and Carolina. So, Washington, Wales are Powhatan surnames. Sanders, I think Sanders is Yamasee, right? Like Tavis and Renee Sanders from their channel. Well, I think him and their family's Yamasee. I'm sorry. That explains your swelling too, Karen. You about to creep? Yes, I feel like usually it's like my feet is swelling, my sneakers. If I'm walking a lot, I didn't walk too much today. My face is like swelling up. Different clans of Blackfoot. Right, yep. And Blackfoot because of the moccasins. Right, the tar bottoms, which we all use now, little, oops, I'm trying to show y'all my shoes. It's not showing. The black bottoms, right? We're the ones that came up with the rubber soles. We're the ones that put the rubber soles and stuff on our shoes because rubber, for one thing, rubber is indigenous to America. Right? People think it's indigenous to Africa or somewhere else. No, they took the rubber trees from here and took them to Africa. You're drinking, I got some water here. You said you're drinking distilled water to prevent retention. Yeah, I need to drink it, but I'm trying to talk to y'all. Thank you, Shanti. You're beautiful too. I love your IG. I haven't been on IG for a minute though. Right, the moccasins had the black soles, Tony. You said, Damon, you said they sabotage going on between the Lumbee and Tuscarora, and because they're old enemies. The Lumbee and Tuscarora were old enemies. I don't think that many people like Tuscarora at all, because they were fierce warriors. I'm telling you. Right? Yeah, I told you the Dabneys were big in Virginia, Davita, and they had some Dabneys move to Barbados as well, because they had so much money. They can buy all the land that they want. You said we are Chickahominy out of Charles City, and you broke off of the Powhatan Nation. At Atkins Stewart's Canada's, Bowman's, and the chief is your cousin. Yeah, my family's from Charles City too. We're Winoke and Pasper Bay. Sorry, I'm saying it wrong. Y'all can tell it's swollen on this side. Pasper Bay. Oh, I also am a Win too. You know, as a Chickahominy, Wins are connected to the Chickahominies. So I'm a Win that's from the Pamunkey side. Do you know if Lucas is related to any tribes? I believe Lucas is Cherokee in Virginia, associated with Cherokee. You said Sanders with Lord, with family in Catawba. Yeah, Catawba and Yamasee were allies at one time. If you go look at the treaties and some of the old documents, you will see that. And that's why they were battling with the Cherokee, all right? Because the Catawba and the Yamasee were going against the British, and the Cherokee were allies with the British. And then the younger Cherokees broke away from the British, and that's where a lot of trouble happened. So, do you know what tribe Murrays were from North Carolina? No, I do not. If you Google it, I would Google it. Murray surname, Indian tribe, North Carolina. Like, you'll find it. You say, yes, you know Wins, you went to school with them, and Dabney's. Yeah, I'm related to Dabney's too, down the line. Dabney and Win. All right, y'all, so you have any more questions? Ooh, I definitely need some water. Been on here 52 minutes. Any more genealogy questions? Thank you, G. Because these bugs are eating me up, y'all. Did you mention that your area is mostly black folks? Which area is that? You're talking about the area I'm in right now? No, no. You see the people walking by. It's a lot of people from Central America. Charles City was a large black population at one time, yes, indigenous, quote unquote, black. No, I don't know Parker tribe from Alabama. My email is the THE Tasha She Tasha XI at gmail.com. The Yakima is the same as the Yamasee. Okay. So your parents are Cherokee from Virginia. They busy bee. The Nansen County, Suffolk. The Nansen are from the Powhatan Nation. So they were I believe they're one of the smaller tribes. They're still there. They still have their tribe together. I think they're state recognized right now. So you should be able to contact them and get some information. Richmond area indigenous tribes. Charles City is the Richmond area, Davita, Chickahominy, Winanoke, the Winyoke, Paspape tribe are in that area. Directly in the Nansemond is not too far from there. There's a lot of tribes in that area. The biggest tribe was the Paspape, which is the tribe that Chief Powhatan, he was the chief of at one time. So, I believe that's his mother's tribe, Paspape. So, Halifax County. I didn't, Halifax County, I haven't researched them that much. I don't have family from there, so I didn't really take the time to look at them, but I should. Yeah, we might be more related to Vita. Yeah, please share the video out, guys. Like it so that the video shows up for more people can find it and they can get help with their genealogy as well. So please like and share it out. After it goes off, please comment and let me know what you guys think or any other questions that you have so that I can use those questions in a new video. Because I'm pretty sure a lot of people will have the same questions as you. You said the DMV was the DMV. You said you thought it was mostly black folks. DMV is a very diverse area, so I wouldn't say it's mostly. At one time, it was mostly. Probably when you go back and look at these records, you'll see that. But now it's very international, very diverse, which is good. It's good. Like it's good to, if you have children, you want them to be around different types of people. And also, so it's also, too, a lot of people feel comfortable celebrating their culture and respecting other people's culture here. So that's really good. Like when my son's school, they had like an international day and people had food from different places, and then they had one for Southern food. Like so-called black people had their Southern food. They had cornbread and all the other indigenous food there. Damon, do I know Scott's from Henrico? I know Scott's from Virginia. I'm not sure about it, specifically Henrico. But I got you, Damon. So if you need to hit me up to look for something, I'll look for it for you. No problem, Davita. Davita. So your grandmother's from Spotsylvania? She's a minor. I cannot find any information on her family. What tribes were near Spotsylvania? Spotsylvania is Powhatan territory. So it'll be one of the Powhatan tribes. Monacan's not too far, but they're up in the mountains. The Manahawks, I don't know if the Manahawks went down that far. But Spotsylvania is mostly Powhatan territory. The Nansen Tico actually were close to the Spotsylvania area. You said familiar. Yeah, I'm a Turner, Busy Bee. I'm a Turner. So the Turners were, some Turners are related to the Nottoway, and then there's other Powhatan tribes that we're related to, like the Pamunkey. Have you been to Olive Garden recently? What? She said, no, I haven't gone to Olive. I should be going to Olive Garden. You said your culture is appropriated also. People use cultural appropriation very loosely or very rigidly, actually, when there's a lot of stuff that's being appropriated that is from certain people's culture. A lot of quote unquote American stuff is indigenous culture. Soul food is indigenous culture. Pancakes come from indigenous people. Cornbread. A lot of the foods, names, how people hunt now, that whole hunting culture that the country boys have, that comes from indigenous culture. So a lot of the inventions. Uh-oh, it's about to rain, y'all. Raindrop just fell on me. How can I find more information on Cherokee in Virginia? Rodane, I will have you contact. I thought I told you to contact the Cherokee tribe. There's a tribe. There's a reservation actually in the mountains of Virginia. If you contact them, they're pretty friendly. They'll be able to help you. I don't know what's going on, y'all. No, I'm not really familiar with Mississippi at all, Ma. I just know a little bit of information on them. And like I was saying with Davida, the Caribbean is very related to Virginia and the Carolinas. Also, New England, a lot of the indigenous people were enslaved and taken to the Caribbean, right? Caribbean was like the worst fate of a person caught in war because they would be sent to the Caribbean. Or if you did something bad in court or something like that. I mean, in the law, within the law. I think I'm about to lose my voice, y'all. All right, any closing questions? It's already been an hour. Yeah, it's about to storm. You can see, y'all can see it behind me. Looks crazy. It said Walden in Nottoway, Maharan territory. It said Scots from Northampton County. Oh, you definitely in Maharan, right? North Carolina. I mean, yeah, North Carolina. You said Crete Indian. I'm not sure about them. You said your last name is Turner. Yeah, I'm a Turner. I'm a Turner on my grandmother's grandmother, who was Mattapanai. She was a Turner. You said you hate pasta. I love pasta. Oh my goodness. You don't need to like anything you don't want to like, Joe. That's crazy. You said Barbados is supposed to be a horrible plantation. Right. They used to work people to death there. Seriously. They would work people to death. Surname Watson. Only Watsons I know is Chief Two Hawks. His name is Raymond Watson. He's from the Pokanoket and I think Narragansett tribe. So you might be related to him somewhere way down the line. You said you love pancakes and corn. Yeah, they used to call it hoe cakes. Hoe cakes when they used the cornbread mix stuff. And then they started using flour, you blended in European culture in. And they made pancakes. But they used to cook it on the end of a hoe, like a garden hoe. Not the other one, the other hoe. You said maybe can. Yeah, the Turners are, it's different groups of Turners. There's Turners that are Mattapanai B. There's Turners that are Mattapanai. And there's also Turners that are related to Nottoway, and they're related to Nat Turner. Nat Turner was half Nottoway and Cherokee, right? The Nottoways actually hid Nat Turner during the rebellion, and that's why they got a lot of backlash and got a lot of their land taken from them, or forced to be, forced sales. Sales were forced. You said your son took an ancestry DNA test and just came back. Well, I would say with those DNA tests, the good thing about them, I wouldn't say it's good for regional or finding tribes or anything like that. It's good to connect with your cousins, like people who are a couple generations back or, somehow related to you. And those people have a lot of key information, even if they're not, a lot of people even taking a DNA test or doing their genealogy simultaneously. So they will have some information. They might be excited to be in contact with you and have a lot of information to give you. They might have pictures. They might have everything to do. I know surname Reed. Yes, I've heard of Reed in Virginia, Northern Virginia. I was looking in Northern Virginia. You identify as a Norseman? Oh, okay. Definitely. Well, I have Norseman ancestry way down the line. So, what about Franklin and Perry in Tennessee? I'm not too sure. Tennessee was a big Cherokee area. If you look at the map of the old Cherokee Nation, Tennessee was like right in it. So I would look for Cherokee. Oh, you missed it. I was trying to come on when people were getting off of work, Lance. I'm sorry you missed it. Just check the replay. You said Virginia, Carter, Bird. Carter, related to a lot of the Powhatan tribes. Bird is a lot of people with the Nottoway and different tribes as well. Willis, I'm not sure about Willis. I think Willis is related to Cherokee tribes. So just use my hints or my, I don't know, my information as a starting point for your research. Don't take my word as gold. Always research the researcher, right? So the mounds in Tennessee, your husband's a Carter from Virginia. Yeah, I know. I'm telling you, the Carter. I'm related to the Carters. The Carters were a big landowning family out in Virginia. You said Logan from Logan County, West Virginia. Now, Callie, take in mind that West Virginia used to be a part of Virginia, so um, some of the old documents are going to be in Virginia. Um, I would check with the Library of Virginia because they do have a section for West Virginia specifically. Your mother told me Tasha is a Slavic name. It is a Slavic name. It means angelic mother of the Sacred Cross. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I heard it means like, what's it called? God's gift. I guess it's a loose translation. I heard it means God's gift in Slavic. God's gift, Jesus' birthday, or something like that. That's what Tasha means. So, am I connected to a tribe? I'm not connected to a tribe, but I'm descended from several chiefs from tribes. Chiefs from the Powhatan tribes and from Narragansett tribe. I'm still looking at the Notter. I'm not sure if I'm related to Chief. I am a Brown, so I'm probably related to Chief Brown from the Cherokees tribe, Cherokees Nottoway tribe. So you say I was probably related. I'm related to a lot of people, you guys. My family was big. They did a lot of stuff. You see that? They was doing too much. Norfolk and Holland, Virginia is 20 minutes from Southampton County. Right, like all these counties are so close to, especially if you got on a boat or you got on a horse or something. People used to travel a lot. You would think that they wouldn't without all this technology, but if I had someone from New England travel all the way down Virginia, I'm pretty sure other people traveled. Mrs. Simmons is a Narragansett name. And it's ironic that, what's her name? Not Russell Simmons, Reverend Ron Simmons, whatever his name. I'm sorry, I messed his name up. His daughter, Angela Simmons, looks exactly like one of the sanctions of the Narragansett. She looks exactly like him. If y'all seen that meme, you would know what I'm talking about. She looks exactly like him. And you said Simmons is a Narragansett name. I'm definitely not surprised. She is definitely related. What is your stance on reparations? I, for one, would like a little extra money. I have my eye on a Waffle House in Tel Aviv. You're funny. Well, I believe that reparations are due to a lot of people, especially the descendants of enslaved people, right? Um, government, they did benefit from the taxes from these people. It should be on a government, state, and county, and business level. Personal families owe people money, so it's a lot of families that are getting off. Like Domino Sugar were big in slavery. That's why I don't even buy their sugar no more. They're big slavers. Like when you went to the Caribbean and you were worked to death, most likely you worked for Domino Sugar. So that's why I don't even, like, I found that out like when I was 12, and from then on I would not purchase Domino Sugar. I would not let my parents buy it. But now, when I'm older, I found out like a lot of these companies are off the sweat of enslaved or indentured people. It was a part of business. But I do think those companies owe reparations. And you can see that from, what was that one whiskey company? Jack Daniels. Jack Daniels did actually give the family of one of the creators who was an enslaved man, they did give him some reparations. And I believe they own part of the company now. They have some stake in the company. So there is some companies that are trying to, what do you call it? I don't know. The sunset is too beautiful. I done lost track. But they're trying to make up for what their ancestors did, or what the company's ancestors, the original owners of the companies did. Uncle Willie will have to ask around. We may be related though. Mind if I subscribe? Of course, subscribe. Of course, keep track. And please email me if you need to look up some things. Please email me, Yo Mom. Yeah, ask around first and then email me so we can figure it out. You say you're a Turner? Okay. Ancient one too. Whoever needs some help with that. Okay, guys. I've been on here too long. Do you guys have any more questions? You have to go get your hair done. Okay. Get your hair braided. All right, y'all. Thank you. Your email. Okay, yeah, please email me and I'll see what I can do. I get a lot of emails, but I'm willing to help people. So it might take a minute for me to respond because I got so many emails. But yes, Lewis, I said I know of the Reed name in Virginia. So you should be able to look that up. He said Reverend Run's taking the oath. I don't know what he's done. They got a lot of stuff going on with their family. Like his brother is like a big hoodoo priest, right? So they got all types of things going on. Angela is, well, she does fashion design. Vanessa does acting. I don't think they're bad people. They're just doing a lot of stuff. I personally wouldn't be doing in the entertainment industry, but that's on them. Not my business. I love them though. I like that. I used to like watching their show, the Run Family or whatever it's called. I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all always catch me when my brain is scrambled. Like I got so many things going on in my brain. Like I'm trying to process other stuff while I'm answering your questions. So ignore what I just said about the Simmons family. I love them. I have no issue with them at all. I don't know, y'all talking about some oaths. Yeah, he does take I mean, he's a priest, so of course he took an oath, right? All right, y'all, so Shama Wangapo, that means peace family or greetings family. I'm about to sign off. If you got any more, please share it out. You say they took an oath. Well, that's their business. I haven't taken any, but that's their business. If you have any more questions, leave them below. Please share it out. Start conversations with people on your Facebooks or Twitters or Instagrams or whatever. We need to be talking more about genealogy. We need to be working on our genealogy more, okay? We need to have these answers. We got to know who we are, right? So we know where we're going. So, peace, y'all. Chama Wangapo.